Rick Daddy here with Rice Boy TV, and we're here again at the Import Car Doctor in Covina, California. I have Nadzy's doo-doo brown RSX behind me, and it's making some serious power with that Stroke K20 motor. Unfortunately, with power comes heat. So today, the Import Car Doctor himself, Aaron Casson, is going to be installing this aluminum coil radiator for him.
Whenever you have a built motor, it is a good idea to upgrade the cooling system, and that's what we're doing today. We're going to start by removing the front bumper.
Aaron begins with the remedial task of removing all the clips for Nadzy's RSX bumper. Under the car, there are even more clips where are way easier to access with a lift. Too bad we don't have one. After a bit of finagling, the front bumper comes off so we can almost access the stock radiator. Aaron loosens the wing nut on the stock radiator to drain the coolant. Make sure you catch this in a bucket and dispose of it properly. That means, don't flush it down a toilet. In order to actually get to the radiator, Aaron must carefully loosen the air conditioning condenser and pull it out of the way. I say carefully because if he tugs too hard, old man Nads is going to have a long, hot summer. Removing the radiator brackets gives Aaron a little more wiggle room, but still not enough to get the stock radiator out. Damn, this RSX radiator is a bitch to get to. Off with the radiator support and hood latch, then we can finally yank out the stock unit. Or not. Because the RSX engine bay is so compact, we need to take the electric fans off for more clearance. Finally, the radiator hoses can come off, and of course, having it lift helps. We're hoping that the coolant overflow tank is the last thing we have to take off. Aaron gets the stock radiator out, and the expression on his face shows just how excited he is about it.
Here's the stock one we just pulled out. It's got the aluminum fins down here, but it's got the plastic caps. And then the Koyo original, the performance radiator is all aluminum all around. Not only that, you can see the thickness difference. This is a single row, and this most likely is a 2-row. So it'll help cooling a lot faster.
No radiator cap included from Koyo. Thanks a lot, Smalls. Aaron wraps the temp sensor with Teflon, then transfers it to the new radiator. After all that work getting the stock radiator out, it's amazing how fast the new one can drop back in. Replacing the fans is the first step. Aaron replaces the overflow tank and tightens down the radiator support so we can finish the rest of this install. Then comes the radiator hoses. Make sure you get the clamps lined up right or you'll run into leaks. Just a hunch, but Nats would probably be pissed if we didn't put back his hood latch. The brackets line up, so that's a good sign about the fitment of the new radiator. The AC condenser goes back in without any unexpected Freon leaks. Finally, Aaron can slap the bumper back on and tend to all his pesky clips again. The new radiator is empty, so it's filled with a mixture of coolant and water. Then the car is started, so we can bleed the cooling system.
When the thermostat opens up, it's going to burp out even more. So that's why you want to burp it all out, you know. If you have air pockets in the system, it can definitely overheat the engine too. Pressurizing the system now, make sure that all my hose clamp and everything else that's connected to the radiator is sealed nice and tight and there's no pressure drop. If there's a pressure drop, it'll either be where the connectors are at or you have a defective radiator somewhere. And when the pressure is dropping, you want to actually literally try to inspect as fast as you can where it might be leaking from. Oftentimes you'll find it before you hit the road. Pressure is holding very well, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a green light on this thing.
Aaron just finished with the install, so he's going to take it for a test drive, make sure everything's good to go. I'm going to let him do his thing so he can hurry back and change the oil on my Benz. Remember, for more tech stories, check back to www.riceboytv.com.
Okay, now that we've installed the radiator, you always want to take it around the block for a test drive. Watch your temperature gauge, make sure it's not going to overheat or anything like that. And then once it's done, you want to bring it back and do a final inspection on it. So let's go for a drive. See, the temperature gauge right now, it's normal where it's at, so that's good. And we don't see any smoke or anything like that coming behind us as well as the front. You know what? I gotta pull over, it's overheating. Something's not right. Psych! You're talking about me. The only thing that can go wrong with this whole thing is the parts failure. Last time I did the alignment for Ricky on his NSX, it went to the Rice Boy account and still haven't got paid for that one. And you know what, I think I'll keep this until I get paid. I kind of like this car. I can get used to it. Oh yeah, I can get used to this. Why is that you always bring your car here with no gas? What's for lunch? Huh? The chicken?
Chicken and ribs.
Ah, that's so bad for you, dude, but it tastes so good. You know, it's like that when you're peeing, you think you're done, but you're not. It's still dripping.